about 2-dimension versus 3-dimension. So 2-dimension being something flat, like a drawing or a painting or a photograph, just like this drawing of this car on cardstock. And then we start to talk about 3D, which in the studio we make a lot of things out of clay. This is a clay piece of pottery, but that could also be more like a sculpture, so something more sculptural. We think in terms of 3D, in the round, viewable from different angles, different perspectives, something you can physically walk around, something you could photograph from multiple angles, multiple perspectives, aerial, bird's eye view. The artists Jean-Claude and Christo take ordinary objects such as shoes, phones, just everyday objects, and what they do is they wrap it to give it a new identity. So it becomes unrecognizable. They tie it up in string or rope. Sometimes their sculptures are small, sometimes they're huge. They've covered entire buildings before. Sometimes they use fabric or plastic to wrap their sculptures. Again, giving them this new identity, taking on more of an abstract shape. So again, when you think of sculpture, you think of sculpture in the round, not flat, viewable from all angles. When you think of abstract sculpture, it's starting to break away from the traditional representation of physical objects. So when referring to abstract sculpture, we're breaking away from the traditional representation that these physical objects have. We're exploring the relationship of form. So you don't know what this tissue is wrapped around, but the way that I have strung the string around it, I'm trying to give you a little bit of a hint as to what could be inside here. Do you recognize any of the form? And then the contrast in the colors here, the blue against the white, make it pop and make it easier to see, a bit easier to recognize. So as I start to unveil my sculpture here, remove the abstraction from my sculpture, what we have here is none other than Princess Leia, of course, back in regular sculpture mode. No longer abstract sculpture. Now, as tempting as it was to wrap my couch or chair in my home in plastic or trash bag or a giant blanket, I chose something smaller just for this demonstration, but by all means, there is no size requirement. So it's totally up to you if you want to do something small scale or if you want to do something larger scale, totally up to you. But the idea is that you are abstracting your sculpture. You're making it unrecognizable, and that we have to start to think what could be embedded inside here. So I'm doing this with one hand so I can show you the film. But what I did the first time around was I cinched it tighter around the neck and the arms to kind of give the illusion of a figure hiding underneath here. Rye, would you hold this for 1 second?
Sure.
And keep it so it's blue in the background. Okay. So the first time I did this, I wrapped it. I know that there's a figure in here, so I wrapped it around her neck and in between her legs to give that illusion of a figure. But I didn't want to give all of it away, so I was careful not to give away too much. And then, as always, we'll photograph it really well on a seamless background. I thought the blue looked nice in this case, gave it some pop. If I put it on white, I think the white would blend in a little bit too much with the tissue. Good luck.